looking at the current state at Noom, the things that were on the wish list when we started to look at our procurement possibilities. And, if you've ever worked in a tech startup, the ability to buy is a lot better entry point than the ability to build at the pace in which you have to innovate in that space. So I would love to have built these internally to truly customize that. But again, buying a solution was the right fit for this organization and led us to a great journey of doing system demos. So before we went into those demos, these are the things that were on my list. Enterprise search, first and foremost, we had buy-in all the way up to the executive level. This was on our wish list. Within that, we wanted to ensure that there was then also easy access back to the data sources, particularly for that more robust learning content. So if there was an LMS track, or let's say there was a learning opportunity in one of those integrated systems, we wanted people to be able to dive in if that was the zone that they were in during their workflow. Next, we wanted custom connections. So there were some tools that we were using that were not immediately available out of the box. We also had some native content management systems, being that we were a software platform. Next was the ability to collect and organize job aids. So there were hundreds of different there were very small amounts of employee types, so maybe only 4 or 5 employee types. However, there were then hundreds within those employee types. So we wanted to be able to curate and customize those packages and resources that were role specific. Next, we wanted to look for an expertise locator. So people were the best, and I believe in any organization, people are the greatest asset for knowledge. And so that was true here. We wanted to ensure that there was an expertise locator available. And I'll mention there, the side bonus was that information could come directly from our single sign-on and our HRIS. Next were insights for admins. So this was a selfish one. As the senior knowledge manager, I wanted a tool that could help me do my job better. There was so much content. This was a Google Space or Google Workspace organization. I wanted the ability to see not only how many assets I had. I wanted to see adoption. I wanted to see popularity. Wanted to see a bit more about content, health, and inventory. So I wanted a system that could give us some more insights around usability and the content health. Next came content recommendations. Now this was, again, a bonus. We wanted to know that if a system didn't already have recommendations, that at the least it was on their roadmap for 2023 at the time. Next came permission-based content access. Again, getting that buy-in from legal and IT security teams at first. This was what was on their wish list. So I'll call that out. We created this list together, so that way I had their buy-in when we went shopping. And so having the permission-based content access was a must for our organization. And lastly, coming back to the learning objectives here, we wanted the ability to crowdsource and in the future be able to have gamification within our system. We wanted to make crowdsourcing, we wanted to make contributing to the knowledge base a fun and a lucrative experience for each personalized employee experience. So here's your drum roll. As you can imagine, we can see how Glean measures up here.
Yeah, I gave it away a little bit before, but a lot of these requests are things that we hear incredibly regularly from our customers and from our prospects. You can see on the left hand, I'm showing you a bit of a little GIF with a search there that's going to pull up, again, that AI-generated answer, but it's also going to pull up all the existing knowledge and content within the organization below. You then have the ability to create collections, so actually group content together regardless of where it lives. And I think for KM, this is one of the most valuable features, is the ability to recognize knowledge on a specific topic, just like we've talked about already, lives across your entire organization. It's not just all in SharePoint or in Slack or Teams or Drive or whatever systems you're using. It's going to live in up to 50 different places, right? And so we want to be able to allow you as KM professionals and oftentimes as learning professionals to allow your employees to find that information, again, regardless of where it lives, but understand its relationship to each other. And then we just have a couple more visuals of the chat functionality on the bottom left there, if you're familiar with it. And then interestingly too, that insights for admins, right? It's important for people to be able to see what sort of content is being looked for regularly. It's a little small, so apologies, but the report on the right is actually top searches without a result clicked, which is essentially telling those experts within the organization, people are looking for information and they're potentially not finding it or not finding something adequate for what they're looking for. And so that can go inform where you fill in knowledge gaps, where you fill in other needs, or ask SMEs to step in and do that as well.